Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present to the Human Rights Council my report on nexus between gender equality and the right to development. I will also be reporting on a country visit to Honduras conducted in November 2024. However, before presenting my report, let me address a serious concern. As the chair of the Coordination Committee of the UN Special Procedures, I condemn strongly the US government's sanctions against my colleague, Francesca Albanese, the Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian territory. Sanctioning a Special Rapporteur appointed by the Human Rights Council violates international law and is a direct attack on the integrity of the entire UN human rights system. I call on the Council to denounce these sanctions and request the General Assembly to seek an advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice on this particular issue. Mr. Vice President, the right to development is sometimes considered to be in opposition to the achievement of gender equality. The polarization between states championing gender equality and states promoting the right to development reflects their divide. This report seeks to overcome such misconceptions. It elaborates the mutually reinforcing nexus between gender equality and the right to development. The enjoyment of gender equality by girls and women in all their diversity would lead to the realization of their right to development. Conversely, realizing the right to development of girls and women would result in gender equality. Distinguished delegates, gender equality is a cross-cutting foundational human rights that must not fluctuate with changes in the political climate. Despite progress made over the years, girls and women continue to face various forms of discrimination in both private and public spheres due to discriminatory laws, patriarchal norms, and structural barriers. According to the 2024 Gender Snapshot, none of the SDG 5 targets have been met. Women enjoy less than two-thirds of the legal rights available to men. The age of retirement for women is lower than that of men in 62 economies. Women spend 2.5 times more hours than men on unpaid domestic work. Girls and women are also disproportionately affected by poverty, austerity measures, climate change, conflicts, new technologies, and unilateral sanctions. Moreover, women human rights defenders and girls climate activists continue to face sexist attacks in all world regions. These worrying trends must be reversed because girls and women, that is about half of the world's population, cannot realize their economic, social, cultural, and political development unless there is substantive gender equality. Mr. Vice President, gender equality is critical not merely for girls and women. Gender equality is beneficial for all human beings. At the same time, girls and women should not be seen as recipients of empowerment by others. Rather, when girls and women are enabled as agents of change, they can contribute to creating a more inclusive, peaceful, and sustainable world. In a recently published leaflet, I have tried to demystify the right to development. The right to development is a transformative human right because it seeks to address various historical injustices. As the international community commemorates the 40th anniversary of the adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, I urge all states, UN entities, businesses, and other actors to leverage this transformative potential of the right to development to address the root causes of gender inequality. Distinguished delegates, in my report, I highlight 5 illustrative aspects of the right to development that could be employed to achieve substantive gender equality, namely, the collective dimension of this right, active, free, and meaningful participation, fair distribution, intersectionality, and international cooperation. These aspects of the right to development can create enabling conditions for girls and women to become change makers. Mr. Vice President, I also have the pleasure to present my report of my country visit to Honduras conducted in November 2024. During the visit, I met with the representatives of several government ministries, UN agencies, non-governmental organizations, and industry associations. I express my gratitude to the government of Honduras for its cooperation and to the representatives of various stakeholders for their valuable input. I observed that the government is committed to embracing a more sustainable and inclusive model of development and has taken some initial steps in this direction such as the abolition of employment and economic development zones, a ban on extractive exploitation licenses, the prohibition of open-pit mining, giving priority to social programs to address inequality and improve living conditions, providing free meals in schools, and offering solidarity scholarships to low-income students. At the same time, Honduras faces multiple challenges such as systemic discrimination against indigenous peoples and Afro-Hondurians, law and order problems, land conflicts, weak environmental governance, climate crisis, attacks against human rights defenders, a high national debt burden, and multiple arbitration claims by foreign investors. In my report, I have made recommendations to operationalize a model of planet-centered participatory development which balances economic growth with social inclusion and environmental sustainability. For example, the government should take measures to address poverty, socioeconomic disparities, improve access to sexual and reproductive health and rights, and protect human rights defenders. Moreover, the government should strengthen land rights and secure land titles for indigenous communities and develop a national policy on investment governance that provides incentives only to responsible investors. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I look forward to the interactive dialogue.